It was a Tuesday, on a normal day of the week, and while the world moved on, two brothers had their world rocked. Their parents were gone, which meant Osas and Ovie were orphans now, and all alone. Although they were alone, Ovie was never truly alone, because he had Osas. Osas, while just a boy himself, put it upon himself to make sure Ovie never lacked. If Ovie was hungry, he would beg for food to feed his little brother. Osas dropped out of school because he would work for their food as long as Ovie was fed. It didn't matter what work he got his hands on, as long as Ovie was fed. It didn't matter how dirty he got, as long as Ovie was fed. One great thing about working was that he got to see the most beautiful girl. When he passed through the market, he saw Esosa. She sold tomato in her mother's stall. She was the only difference from his constant. See, Osas lived for Ovie. In the morning, he would dress Ovie for school. He would work all day to feed his brother. Then he would put him to sleep with tales of how great he would become one day. Ovie was his religion. As long as Ovie was doing okay, he was doing okay. No matter how callous his hands got or how heavy his work got. Waving Ovie off to school was worth all the callous hands. Osas was sharp. He was most known for his diligence at the market, his diligence and his dedication to his beauty, Esosa. Ovie made it his mission to escape the poverty that had entrapped them. He became distant with Osas. No matter how much his brother tried to talk it over with him, Ovie's attention couldn't be pulled away from his studies or his newfound love on campus. There was simply no room for poor Osas. Ovie was unapologetically distant. In the bustling and colorful marketplace, while nursing the heartbreak of being forgotten, Osas's only solace was Esosa. Her beauty enchanted him. He would visit her stall for nothing in particular. They would have dinner after work, day after day. It became the only light in his life, and the constant of her became permanent through marriage. He was upset Ovie missed his wedding, but even more upset Ovie had married his school sweetheart without him. He told his in-laws he was completely alone, that the accident that took his parents took his older brother too. Nothing could prepare Osas for the heartbreak of being dropped by his only family. His life got worse when they found out about complications with his baby. Ovie still refuses to pick when he calls. They wait desperately each day, but nothing changes. Finally, he couldn't take the risk waiting any longer. Osas decides to visit his brother. He stopped at the door by his wife. "Can I help you?" she says. "Please, I'd like to see my brother," Osas replies. "He isn't around." Osas knows she's lying, but his car is outside, he insists, and so she retorts rudely. He is finally granted an audience, And while he is being rejected by them, Esosa is in the middle of a medical emergency. They lose the baby. And they say tragedy comes in threes, because shortly after, Ovie and his wife die in a car accident, the only survivor being their 2-year-old son, Tega. Osas insists on keeping the baby. Now an orphan like him, he couldn't abandon his only family. His parents caused me to lose our baby. Esosa made a great point. But Osas was clear. Family was his priority. Family is your priority. Just not this family. Goodbye, Osas. Esosa leaves. He's all by himself again, raising yet another child. Osas raises Tega diligently. Even though Esosa leaving still cost him pain every day. When Esosa arrived at her parents' house in Delta, she finds out she's pregnant. Multiple times she considers telling him about it, but ultimately decides not to. No matter how much her father convinces her to, she remains stubborn in her decision to do it alone. Osas had chosen his family, and she had chosen hers. Few years pass, and Osas is still doing the only thing he knows how to do: work tirelessly for his family. No matter the condition or day, he worked until his hands got more callous, and under his loving shower, Tega blossomed. Being poor made him a target at school, unfortunately. And even more unfortunate, after he got hurt at school, Osas heard Tega's kidney was failing. Although Osas could be a donor, working so hard had made him age faster, and his organs might be the same way. How can the thing he did to protect his family be the thing that dooms them? It was a thing of great joy for Osas when the tests came back that they were a match. He didn't hesitate to donate his organ and helped nurse Tega back to health. Osas remained hardworking with the aim of putting him through school. He was finally able to do that and sent him off to a university. He starved himself to provide for his higher education, and in return, Tega did great in school. But the thing they say about history remains true, because it didn't take too long for Tega to also distance himself from Osas, missing his calls and even graduating without inviting him. His complaint fell on deaf ears as Tega got more distant and more uncaring. Even when Osas's health began to fail, Tega remained unreachable. So, Osas had a brilliant idea. Tega wouldn't ignore him if he came to his office and asked him in person. He could make his colleagues too, so he made sure to pack some street snacks. He was nervous at the size of his company, but still went in. When he walked in and Tega saw him, Tega flared up embarrassed and wasted no time to berate him in front of his colleagues. Listening to Tega, the only thing on Osas' mind was how callous his hands were. My mother had once suggested I become a painter, he mumbled out loud. Are you growing senile, old man? Why are you talking about your mother now? I just wanted to see you. Why would you come here looking like this? You did a favor raising me. Now you're trying to latch on. I'm trying to navigate my life, and what hope is there for me if I let someone with your miserable luck latch onto me?" His colleague gasped. Now, the other staffs have been alerted to the chaos. The new managing director and his mother come out of his office too. He tries to interfere, but his mother stops him. Tega is going crazy and simply doesn't stop, no matter how heartbroken Osas looks. "Why are you being this way to me?" Osas asks sadly. He's exactly like his ungrateful father. Everyone's attention is now on the new MD's mother. "It's your wife, Esosa," she says. Everyone is shocked by the revelation. "This is your father," she tells her son. "We have a lot to catch up on, and I have a lot to explain. But for now, say hello." "I am Osas." The young man introduces himself to Osas, and they have a beautiful reunion. Osas, who spent his life protecting his family, grew old to weekly Sunday dinners with his big family and spending every day with the only woman he had ever loved.